Hello, my name is Matthew, and after work today, I read another short story by Guy de Maupassant. And with everything being so stressful and feeling so uncertain and just all the general fright in the world, uh, it was so nice to sit down and read a short story. And it's only a few pages long, and it really felt like a dose of medicine that lifted my spirits. And I'm kind of happy to tell you about what I read. Sort of at random, I read uh, the the Patron, and it's nearly a um, like a modern fable. It has sort of a moral to it, and it's about this guy who his name is what's his name, Monsieur Jean Marin, and uh, he's just completely pleased with himself, and he talks about what good luck he's had in strokes of fortune, and he goes on to tell you that he's basically a yes man, and he'll ingratiate himself to anybody. He'll do anything or say anything to work his way up the social and professional ladder, and he manages to be successful. He seems to be, I guess, competent and maybe mildly charming, and he becomes a privy counselor, whatever. I don't even know what that is, but it's a very important title, uh, important position that he has. And when he gets it, he wants everyone to know that he has it, and not just his friends, which he makes very clear that all of his friends know, but people on the street and the cafes that he goes to. He um, brings it up in conversation to the waiters and things like that. And he has this strange thing that he does. Everyone that he meets, he introduces himself as his privy counselor, and he even says that he'll write letters of introduction uh, to everyone that he meets. He's introducing himself and writing out these letters, introducing people to whoever. And I'll read. I've said before how great Maupassant is at creating a very clear and unique um, character very quickly. So this is Monsieur Jean Marin. Uh, then he became a lawyer and took on cases which he regularly lost. One morning, he read in the paper that one of his old friends had just become a member of parliament. Once more, he became as faithful as the proverbial dog, the friend who does the unpleasant jobs and the nasty business, the one who always gets sent for, the one with the feelings which do not have to be considered. But as a result of some party infighting, the member of parliament became a minister. 6 months later, Jean Marin was appointed privy councillor. Gives you an idea of this guy. So he ends up going out in the city one night, and there's a torrential downpour, just terrible slates of rain. And when he runs to get cover, he finds himself next to a priest, and he can't help himself to try to impress, or at least tell the priest that he's a privy counselor, and he's dropping all these little hints and saying things, and the priest is basically ignoring him. And finally, after deciding between having to listen to this guy or go back out into the rain, the priest tries to make an exit. Well, this guy doesn't want to let him go. He keeps talking to him and asks him where he's going, and he has an umbrella, and the priest is from out of town, so he's going to tell him all of the things about the city. And as it goes along, he kind of gets the priest to at least tolerate him. And as they're walking along, the priest says that he's there for business and says that he has to visit the Privy Council. Well, that's all he has to hear. He tells him, well, the three Privy Councillors that you're going to meet are all my best friends. So they go in this building, and he says, I'm going to write you letters of introduction and say that they're going to do whatever you need. And he writes 3 letters off to each of them, supporting the cause of this priest, which he doesn't know anything about. He goes home, and he's pleased with himself, and gets a great night's sleep. So, let's see. He wakes up in the morning and has his paper sent to him in bed. And there's an article in the paper of the clergy and of civil servants. Recording the misdemeanors of the clergy is an unending task. A priest convicted of conspiring against the present government, accused of actions so unworthy that we shall not even hint at their nature, it goes on and on and on, has found the full support of a privy councillor. And the next line made me laugh. He's in bed, reading this. Monsieur Marin leaped out of bed, dressed, and hurried round to his fellow councillor. So this guy hightails it to another one of these officials and just says, there was a misunderstanding. This guy, he tricked me. I didn't know what was happening. We need to throw this priest in jail. He falsely identified what his motives were, and on and on and on. So this other counselor decides to just save his skin. He's going to help him, and he's going to write a letter just resolving this whole thing. And this is why I mentioned that you could read it as some sort of moral fable. I'm sorry, modern fable. So he saves his skin, he writes a letter and sends it off. He's not going to be in trouble. And the counselor that did this says to Jean Marin, now, old man, let this be a lesson to you. Never give your patronage to anyone. And that's it. Just what a way to lift my spirits. Amusing, interesting moment. Just like a sitcom, an episodic misunderstanding with a great character and a closed-in little world. And we're at about 8 minutes now, which, if you've watched this far, this video is now longer than it would take you to read the short story. Just wonderful. This is another one of my Maupassant Mondays. I hope it gives you some entertainment or escape, maybe. I hope everyone is doing well. Please let me know what you thought of the story I told, or if you like reading Maupassant, or anything like that. And thank you for watching, and take care. Bye.